Necrobuster. Napalm Death is it gets called a political band.
Observation of what I see in others.
When you go camping, you get to see the Milky Way galaxy.
Punk rock type attitude too. We're just gonna try to, gross you out with our music.
Yo, what's up? This is John from Noise Dosage Media, bringing you some of the most innovative and unique extreme metal musicians on air to have an in-depth conversation about things you probably didn't know until now. Before we unravel this episode, we want to bring attention to our driving force of visual creativity. Begrudgingly Benny creates one-of-a-kind creatures that you can't find anywhere else but below. His focus is on old-school style, slimy stippling that is budget-friendly for all bands or tattoo desires. Stay updated on the sludge by following at begrudgingly_Benny on Instagram. Wither Designs raises the dead with pen and ink and gives them new life with acidic color. Withered is eager to accompany your next album, merchandise, or zine with new, kick-ass, necromantic artwork. Keep up with the Horde by following him at withered_designs on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in, and let's dive into this. So, man, you got some cool stuff whipping up here. Frozen Soul, holy hell.
Yeah, man, trying.
It's a weird time for the music industry.
Yeah, it's like get a huge pat on the back, and then it's like there's always something,
Right.
It's always something to follow it,
Right. I just saw Undeath just bought a freaking touring van, and I'm like this no, you can't ruin their year again.
Yeah, we actually we've been saving up. We've got quite a bit, and we just became an actual business, so we got a business credit card, and we have quite a bit saved up to buy a really nice van, and we were about to pull the trigger on it, and then we're just gonna wait for right now.
Wait till the first day of tour.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what a lot of bands are doing right now.
Yeah,
but yeah. So minus the negatives aside, let's start it off. Dude, the tour is gonna happen. I can guarantee it. There's no way.
I'm betting on it. I mean, I honestly, there's no sense in being negative about it. I mean, whatever happens. We've already been through it once. We know what to expect, and we know what to do. So we're fine. I'm gonna stay positive.
Yeah, I just feel like there'd be so many riots if the government was like, all right, shut down again. The vaccines didn't work. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know. I've literally, I've straight up disassociated from it. Last week I was worrying pretty bad. And then I was like, you know what? I'm literally going to flip the fucking switch off in my head and stop thinking about it and just business as usual, because there's just no use even thinking about it. Because I feel like if it shuts down again, it'll just be chaos for everything.
People are gonna lose their mind. The government ought to know by now. People walked into the White House
it's pretty wild.
It's gonna happen again, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild, man. I hope it doesn't. I'm very, very, very much so counting on it not shutting down again, because I'm just ready to get to touring and, moving forward. It was really fucking hard putting out a record in a pandemic.
It
was very hard. It felt like it wasn't real at first. I've done 1,000 interviews, it feels like. And
you couldn't do it in it. You couldn't do much with it,
I got the same questions, and I'm just the same questions in every one. And I'm like, yo, it doesn't even feel real, because I'm not playing shows. I'm not, it's weird. It's so weird. So that I'm still waiting for it to feel kind of real. I guess it felt real this past weekend at Wrecking Ball.
Oh yeah, man.
That felt real because there was 1,000 people there, and that was oh my God, this is real. But I'm ready for tour. And so,
dude,
we'll
I saw the photos, and dude, I just saw Devourment. I am, and then you guys, I'm like, I gotta hop on a plane, but it didn't happen because you guys are coming to Buffalo. Devin told me a long time ago, so I'm like, I'm just gonna hold off.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we'll all be up there. It's gonna be. I can't wait, man.
You're gonna be in the cold, man. Buffalo winter.
I can't wait. Hey, dude, we toured up the East Coast in January. of 2020, and everyone was like, "Y'all are crazy," and we're like, "We didn't even think about it at
Right.
all."
Yeah, just business as usual.
Yeah.
All right, so you know, let's start off with some like ideas, questions, whatever. You know, so the first one I always like to hit vocalists with is what do you think are some qualities that you think are like a necessity for being like a good like top notch frontman?
Um, I think it's mainly just like just having passion.
Uh huh.
Um, I mean that's really it. I mean, like I still don't fully know what it takes to be a front man, and and I don't know, I don't know much about vocals, and I'm just now getting into the intricacies about, you know, vocal warm ups and all this other stuff. So I mean, I think it's just passion and ability to take like criticism and that want and that fire to like make yourself better at all times.
Yeah. Yeah. So Carl from Bolt Thrower said a big deck.
Do say that again.
uh, I asked that question, and Carl, lead singer of Bolt Thrower,
Yeah.
said to me, he goes, "Oh, just a big dick, man."
Fuck yeah.
I never laughed so hard, like,
That's
but
hilarious, dude.
yeah, dude, I can never be a frontman. I'm a guitar player. I stand in the back. That's just me.
I mean, I never thought I would be a front man to a band. Um, I I literally never thought about it. I mean, the only reason I did it is because like I've just wanted music to work out
Mm-hmm.
for me for so long, since like 2002, and I've been working at it for so long, and we've had just so many issues with like previous bands I was in, and vocalists, and certain members and certain aspects of the bands just never worked out. So I started slowly trying to like learn how to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Never quite learned how to play guitar, except with my mouth, but you know
Yeah, Michael told me that because I've talked to him a few times.
yeah.
He's hilarious, man.
Yeah,
But
he's awesome.
but
Yeah, I don't know, I just kind of fell into it. I was in a band called End Times with my brother and a few other people. Daniel, our producer, and you know it just, things weren't working out. My brother was dealing with stuff in life and couldn't really like do the things we needed, and we were working so hard, and we're so hopeful that things were going to get better with the band. So I just like started writing the lyrics and the vocal patterns and stuff, and realized that it kind of went hand in hand with like drumming. And then
right.
next thing I know, I was like, God, I kind of want to be the vocalist of the band. And we started up Frozen Soul, and yeah, I just went from there. I was originally a drummer, so
Right. Yeah. I think the coolest thing about that is like I kind of wish I started as a drummer too because like I mean, for me, I listen to music that has soul, like I don't listen for technicality. I listen for like the beat of the music, what emotion I feel, and like being a person that writes music and has ability to do drums too is tenfold, you know?
yeah, for sure.
Like
It's music is hard.
yeah, like and not trying to like replicate other people, man. Like
Yeah, yeah, we do a lot of trying to avoid that. Like we wear like our influences on our sleeves and stuff, and I'm proud to like like the stuff that we like, but you know at the end of the day, like we want to be us. So I try really hard where it's like, if I hear something that we're doing that sounds too much like a riff I've heard from one of my favorite bands, I'm like, oh, we got to change it. We got to
mhm.
change this. We got to change up the beat. We got to do something different to like not bite their stuff too much.
Oh yeah. So the next thing is like, we were talking about the pandemic earlier. Within the last year and a half, besides the music, where do you feel your band has had like the most growth. Like I've seen some huge marketing like ideas, like photography, for example. You guys really push that hard, and I feel like bands sometimes underestimate that. Like you guys do it good, and you're always there, and you're always posting like good quality content.
I mean, I think, dude, we just got lucky, man. We just have a lot of really talented friends.
Yeah.
Uh, that's kind of what it boils down to. I mean, you know, I just, I've just done it a lot, with different bands, and I've failed so much, and I've just looked around and been like, okay, how can I grow? How can I stop failing? How can I do the best that I can and have the most fun possible? And, it's like, you never know how how the pins are going to fall.
Mhm.
But you can at least set them up at the end of the lane a certain way, so maybe that, when you throw the ball down, maybe they'll fall, a little bit in towards the direction that you wanted, and that's just all we do. I mean, I think that's probably where we excel the most is like forward thinking,
Mhm.
like how will
Yeah.
this affect us, like how are people gonna see what we're doing, and also like just trying to have like the most fun as possible, um,
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, dude,
we have
you're
a
gonna
lot
have
of
so
talented
much. You're
friends.
gonna have so much. You're gonna have so much fun with Bog, man.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I love those
On
guys, man.
tour. Devin's hilarious.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't not wait to hang out with. We had a lot of fun at Wrecking Ball, but it was a stressful day, so we didn't really get to hang out all that much. I was like all over the place because I was one of the main ones behind it, so I had to like make sure everything was running smoothly. But it was those dudes are awesome. I cannot wait to literally tour this world with them.
Oh man, where outside of the United States are you guys planning on going first? Like, I mean,
um,
for me, dream Japan, dude. Japan looks so crazy.
Yeah, we actually we're like working on something in Japan right now.
Yes.
It's a dream, dude. I never imagined in my whole life that I would even make it out of this country. Well,
It's
to
even
even
like
35
traveling.
years old,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never thought
that's
I would make it there. But I never thought I'd make it out of this country. We're planning on trying to go literally everywhere. We are working on Europe
mhm.
for probably spring of next year. Working on a little something over there, and then working on something in Japan, maybe with the band Cruelty.
Okay. Yeah.
So and and maybe Coffins. I don't know. We're just it's all up in the air right now, but we're talking with everybody, and as soon as like we can, we're just gonna try to literally do everything.
Yeah. Everywhere except Canada because Canada's like the one spot that's I don't know.
Yeah.
Just canceling everything.
Yeah, we have some Canada stuff booked actually for 2022 for a really big tour that's not announced yet.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's sweet.
yep.
Napalm Deaths just got canceled. Not locally to me, but in Canada, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that sucks
Yeah.
because I don't know if you saw that tour with like Guar.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh man, it's gonna be so cool. Have you seen Guar live?
Yeah, I've seen them a couple times. I saw them back in like 2007 at this like huge festival called Sounds of the Underground. And
I feel like I've heard of that.
it was really big. It was a really big tour. It had like Lamb of God and Guar and a bunch of like metal bands, and then it also had like Madball and Terror and stuff. It was fucking sick.
I'm googling it right now because I've
Yeah, it was
heard
like
it
a
was
huge outdoor like festival that was kind of like I guess Warped Tour for like metal and hardcore.
Oh no, I actually haven't seen this one.
Yeah, it was
Dude,
awesome.
I've literally yet to be to a fest. Like, I don't. Are you going to Maryland Death Fest?
Probably not. I'm gonna go to Psycho Las Vegas though.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Um, dude, not being drunk by the end of a festival. That's it's a challenge.
Yeah.
But all right, so this band, they kind of, it kind of just blew up recently. Like, well, not recently. Within the last year and a half, I'd say, from my perspective. Um, When did you realize you were like, yo, our music is like has a really good possibility of like going somewhere? Like, maybe like your first sold out show or like the first huge drop of a record, the EP or whatever.
Oh man, dude, I don't know if I ever felt like it was ever gonna blow up. Like things were hitting us in the face, and we were still like, I don't know, what's the catch? I mean, we've always been happy with our music, and I think like that's all we ever like thought of and anticipated. We never
Mhm.
thought about like getting huge or anything like that. It was just like, how do we write music that we genuinely like love, that would move us,
Right.
that we could listen to in the car, for hours and not be tired of it. And, and that's, I mean, I guess like I was like, man, I think people are really going to enjoy this. I think people are really going to like it. We put a lot into this. And then we played our first official show, with Blood Incantation and Necrot
Oh
in
man.
Dallas.
Oh
And,
my
it
god.
was like sold out, packed to the brim. And yeah, I mean, people were like coming up to the merch table and stuff and asking us like where we were from and
Oh.
like where we were from and like where we're going next. And we're like, yo, we're from here. We only have one shirt. Like
we're,
we're right here. We
we're
have 25 shirts and we just like, this is our first show. And I guess like it kind of like hit me at that point that like, uh, hey, we should like really go balls to the wall with this. Our drummer at the time, who's no longer in the band, Brady, he was like, I don't think we should tour. We're not ready. We shouldn't do it. And I was like, no, dude, let's go. We need to go now. Like, we need
we
to
gotta
go
pack it
now.
up.
Yeah. Like
Bring
people
your
are
two
like
pairs of
digging
pants.
this.
Let's
Like,
go.
let's go. Like, and we did like, right. We played our first show in March.
Hmm.
I think it was, I don't know. I don't remember now, 2019, and 2018. I can't remember now. But we toured that June. We went on our first tour, and we took our other band End Times as well, and it was just Frozen Soul and End Times. And we went to the West Coast, and it did like really really good. We got to stay in hotels every night, and we came back with money to buy merch designs, and and then we're like, all right, well, let's keep
What next?
going. So we just like kept going and kept going, and it's like every little show we played, every little tour we did got bigger and better each time. And not like the older bands we've all been in and stuff where like you have to tour like sleeping on punk
Um,
floors and stuff,
yeah.
and that kind of stuff. It wasn't like that. It just like just each little piece of effort that we put in got bigger and better and just was paying off more and more. It was wild. It's been
That's
wild.
awesome. Do you feel, there was, I don't know, looking back at your other projects, what do you think like the biggest differences are? Like where do you think the gr- hmm, how do I word this? What do you think are like the elements that made this band, more popular? Do you think it's the genre itself of being more popular right now, or because like hardcore has always been around, it's been bumping, but like I feel like death metal right now is just blowing up as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of all of it. I mean, I think, you know, part of it is our drive and consistency with like
Hmm.
staying on top of things,
Yeah.
and always moving forward and never stopping. And then, some of it is just timing,
Right.
like bands like, Blood Incantation and Necrot and Skeletal Remains, like those three bands, like kind of, I don't know, Entomb Mold and A Feather
Oh
and Bone,
God.
those
Oh,
bands right there, those handful of bands revitalized death metal. And
that's what I've been saying. Like
yeah,
since
and we
the
just kind of, I've always liked those bands, and Michael's always liked those bands, and it with us already liking death metal and coming from previous bands and stuff, and they, that it just we just followed along, and I think we just hit it at the right time, but at the same time, like, we have a theme, we have,
Yeah, I
we
was
have
gonna
a lot
bring
of
that
stuff
up
that
for
just
sure.
works for us, and I think it's just a combination of everything. Hard work, at the end of the day, like, pays off, but like, hard work isn't just playing a million shows and stuff. It's also making sure, like, you encompass all that you are, and everything that you like into what you're doing, and you make something relatable to people, and then they just get it, and it just keeps going. And now it's grown to the point where we can actually be like a legit business and stuff. And
Yeah, it's
that's
so sick.
absolutely fucking insane, because never did I ever imagine I'd be like,
Let's set up taxes for this
yeah,
thing.
dude, literally just had to go get a CPA the other day.
Yeah.
So like, never did I ever imagine that would happen.
Like the
Like,
tax
the
man's
fuck
gonna
is a
come.
W-9? Okay.
yeah, the tax man.
So,
Dad's
it's
telling me the tax man's gonna come after me, so I better
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah, our CPA is like, yeah, you guys need to get your shit straight. So, yeah, it's a little bit of everything, man. Like, things, things just happen, man, sometimes. And, like I said, it all boils down to you can line those pins up, and man, they might just fall in no way, shape, or form the
It
way
might
you
go in
wanted
the
them
other
to.
freaking lane, bro.
But hey, man, they landed where we needed them to, and that's sick.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate for it. And we also have, to our friends and stuff to thank, because, our city and our state and our friends from all over the place, like, that some that I've made, some that Chris has made, Sam, Matt and Mike, everybody has friends and stuff, and, that have always been around and followed us from band to band, and, just been that rock. And we've been very fortunate to have people back us, and be there for us and support us. And, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Super awesome. It's really carried us,
Yo, I'm gonna. Okay, I haven't done this on episodes, but let's like name drop. Maybe like 5 bands that have, like, I don't know, really helped you guys out. Like,
well, I'd say number one is probably Gate Creeper.
okay,
Eric is like one of my best friends.
yes,
And
Eric's the man.
he's helped us out a lot. He he's really like bent over backwards to, like, put in good words for us, and help us when, like, we were coming up, and trying to get out, like, nationally to more people. And he put us in contact with, like, Relapse, and put in good word for us when, like, Century was, like, interested in us. Eric from Plague Years, he's like been one of my, like, good homies for years, ever since I was in, like, a hardcore band called Vulgar Display. He's good. He's helped us out a lot, filled in for us. We've got a local band from here called Combat.
Oh yeah,
Ray used to play in Frozen Soul, their guitar player. They're all good dudes. They've supported us a ton. Bands like Devourment. Devourment.
yes.
I worked with Chris for a long time, and doing security, and he's just a good friend. And
I wouldn't mess
Dave
with Chris.
Brad, yeah, literally, madman. But they're really good at Creeping Death. Both of those bands are just like, Creeping Death is just like, they're literally our family, like, we always have each other's backs. We're always looking out for each other. And I'd say probably Power Trip. I've known most of those guys forever. I, like, kind of got into hardcore and whatnot around the same time, like, Riley did. And he was one of the first people I met going to shows, and I was working at Circuit City and he was working at Best Buy. And, I was able to connect with him, like, over the fact that I just fucking hated my job and hated having to be somebody else. And he helped pretty much invite me, with other people in the area, to, like, see what hardcore was about. And got me into that. And, I ended up, years later, a couple years or a few years later, meeting like, Nick and Chris, and when they were in older bands, and they ended up actually joining End Times for a while. And
Oh,
we had a
I,
good stint with
yeah,
them in End Times.
I was gonna say it probably ended up like a strain, like a band from a band, and then
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and we were I was always at Nick's house at parties, and and I remember when Blake was just a kid, and he didn't have a ride to shows, so he was riding with me, and you know I remember arguing with him about about how sick Rush is.
Yeah,
and him
bro.
and he's like, I just don't like him. He still doesn't like him, and
Nah,
that's
man,
cool.
Tom
But
Sawyer, man, get out of here, bro.
but like those all of the bands I named, like, and there's so many more too from our area, Cleric and Imperial Slaughter, and
Dude, Texas, yes,
there's a ton
Texas,
of bands, but
dude.
most of them are from Texas, man. Most of the bands that have like helped us get to where we're at, and really helped like be the family and the rock that we needed to like to get through everything, or our homies from here. But we have, there's a lot, man. And there's a lot of bands that we don't know that helped us in so many ways, so like I said, bands like Tomb Mold, and Feather and
Man.
Bone, and all those guys, like,
Phobophilic.
yeah, dude, that
You like
band
them?
is fucking
Oh my.
sick. All those bands helped us too, because they were doing really sick stuff, and it's just like everybody's doing so awesome, and everyone's doing really badass stuff, and it's so motivating and fun to see, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, another so Phobophilic, Cryptic Shift is pretty sick.
Yeah, that band's cool.
Ruin.
Yeah, Ruin's really awesome.
Ruin's got some cool stuff. Ruin. Nun Slaughter. They just dropped a new freaking album.
Hell yeah.
Which is sick. But yeah, there's just so much cool stuff going on. It's hard to keep up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
But all right, so I got 2 more small things here. Probably somebody asked this, but I could not find it. Who originally came up with the idea of like, the theme of the frozenness?
I mean, it was technically like me and Michael. We just fell into it, man. Like, there's not a better answer. Like, we just kind of fell into it and just kept elaborating because it was funny,
Yeah.
But like when it boils down to it, like, everybody gets cold. Some people love it, some people hate it.
I hate, dude, that's my worst fear. I hate being cold, dude. Like,
yep. And yeah, I mean, like, life is just fucking cold and unforgiving, and we didn't sit down and be like, we're gonna be a death metal band that's cold. All right, we're gonna have snow machines, and everything's gonna be cold. There's gonna be snow plows, very dark outside all the time, no light, definitely just snowy,
blue lights
cold
all the time.
Everyone's
show's
pissed
blue.
off because it's so cold you can't feel your hand. Like, we didn't even think about it like that. We're just like, I remember when we were on tour with Steel Bearing Hand, and we had played like St. Vitus, and we were staying in Jersey, and afterwards, and Ray at the time, our guitar player, we were all talking, and we were like, man, how do we up our stage game? And Ray just like, let's get a fucking snow machine. And I was like, done, ordered on Amazon in 30 seconds. It's like
anything.
It just happened, like everything just happened, man. Like we're just like, okay, this is funny. This is cool. Like, this actually, it's funny, but it's actually hard. It's true. It's not like it's not just a shitty joke, like, life fucking sucks sometimes, and right. Sometimes it will just destroy you, and it has no feelings about it. It's just straight up cold. So it all just makes sense with, what we're doing as a band, and, the style, and, that's really like.
Did somebody ask you that before or no?
Yeah. People have asked. I mean, I've
cool.
given so many, like,
I could not find that. I'm like, out of all, like, everything I listen to, I'm like, I can't find this one simple thing that this band is known for.
Yeah,
Being
it's
cold,
weird.
bro.
It's just being cold, man. It's it just all kind of works, and it's not like the type of gimmick or like theme that you have to like force to work for you
Fake it doesn't
or
work.
fake it. Like it's there, and it fits with what we're doing, and it just happened to work out, but totally unintentional. I mean, we literally got like our name from Metallica lyrics, so from the song Trapped Under Ice. So I mean, you know we just kind of
It
got to
happens.
keep
It
elaborating.
happens. Yeah, it happens. So the last thing is craziest story from a hometown show.
Oh man. Honestly, we haven't played like a million hometown shows, but I would say the craziest is hands down from Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, dude, I read the thing that you posted. I'm like, something went down. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, it was wild. Like we've filmed everything, like literally everything. And so we're gonna do some special stuff with it and whatnot to show everybody like how it was crazy. And it was really it was a wild idea that like just like worked amazingly and started to fall apart and then all came back together at the end. But yeah, definitely that show was the craziest like hometown show we've had because I mean like during Creeping Death set the venue blew a transformer. But the transformer was the same transformer that had blown weeks before that I guess they had thought was fixed that wasn't fixed all the way.
Right.
So the fire department came out. They were gonna
Place
all
on
sorts of stuff
fire.
was spreading. They said that they needed to conserve electricity, I guess, and
That has nothing to
somehow
do
the
with the
security
transformer.
guys, somehow the security guys thought that they were saying they were turning the electricity off. So they started going around spreading to everybody that the show was getting shut down. And, we were up next to play. It was a
Oh
fucking
man.
million degrees. Like, I live in Texas. I've been to shows. I've seen Power Trip in a basement with 150 people. There's no room to even walk. And it wasn't as hot as it was in that venue.
Wow.
And, uh, and so I went up to the owner of the place and I was like, hey, I'm hearing the show's getting shut down. Like, what's the deal? And he was like, yeah, they're probably about to shut us down. And I was like, well, like, should we just go play or like what? And he's like, well, if you want to play, I'd probably go hurry. So, we rallied everyone together. Everyone crammed inside the place. We jumped up on stage. I gave a speech about no fighting, and then boom, we hit it. Played 4 songs and, looked at each other and we're like, I guess this is it. Cause, we don't want to be playing while the power's going out and everything. And, it was not good. I mean, the crowd reaction was amazing. We've never played to that many people before. There was at least 1,000 people in the room, probably more. And it was shoulder to shoulder. There was 3 different pits during our set at one point.
What?
Yeah, it was fucking insane.
Pits.
I thought I was gonna die on stage because the lights. It was easily 120 degrees in that place.
Oh yeah. Wow.
The lights were literally burning us. It was terrible. But we played. Everyone loved it. I mean, it was wild. Then we got off the stage and then turns out that the owner came up and said, hey, there's a misunderstanding. It's not getting shut down. We had tried to get things together to get back up there, but during the heat swarm and everything, like the cameras were overheating and Chris's guitar got broken. So we ended up like not being able to get back up and play. So Devourment was already packing up and getting ready to leave. Like they weren't even going to be able to play. And then I was like, no, you guys should get up and play. And then I guess, something got fixed with, or whatever with the transformer at the time. So they turned the AC back on. So Devourment got to play. We tried to rush outside and get everybody to come in, and stop all the cars from driving away because they thought the show was over. And, we were able to get a lot of people to come back inside, but
It sounds like a movie, dude.
yeah, it was insane, man. And there's so much more like, I won't go into on here. There was just, the venue and stuff did some things like that, could have put people at risk. I did put people at risk, our bass player, Samantha, she actually went to the hospital the next day. And they had to give her fluids because they were basically like, you have such extreme heat exhaustion that, there's no amount of electrolytes or water you can drink that will revitalize you. Like you need IV fluids.
Wow.
And it was just crazy. The venue did some stuff that just wasn't good with not supplying water to people and stuff like that. So it was just dangerous, and, but at the end of the day, I don't think anybody who was there will ever forget it. Because
that's all
it was
that matters,
insane,
though.
insane.
Yeah.
With the first band, Tribal Gaze, before they even played, there was 500 people in the room. Like it was insane. Our merch line was like 100 people long for like 7 hours.
Dang, they didn't get a break.
It was wild. Our merch guy was tearing his hair out. And everybody had a killer set. And honestly, other than the heat being pretty bad, it wasn't completely unbearable all day until after I Am played. That's when the transformer issues happened. And then, even Eric from Creeping Death warned me, that it's like the hottest stage he's ever been on in his life. And it was like insane, man. I sound weak. I feel weak even saying that because, I've played like so many shows where, I'm like, it's 150, but no, nothing ever compared to what I felt on that fucking stage.
I mean, being on a regular stage in Buffalo where it's quite cold, the stage is still hot.
Oh yeah.
And then you add Texas and no AC with Transformer.
It was really something. But at the end of the day, like I think for what it's worth, it was one of the best events that I've ever been able to see in Texas.
That's good.
Like everyone was there. There was also a big problem with security. The venue had hired like a local mosh organization called the Pit Demons to do security, and those dudes have supported us a lot, and some of them are super nice. I don't really know very many of them, but I just heard nothing but problems about them fighting the hardcore kids, and and they just aren't security. They're not trained to do security. I even had told a lot of the main security people there before the gig, hey, these kids are allowed to stage dive. Like when we're playing, this is their stage. Like you do not stop them.
That's one thing that really grinds my gears. Like if you're going to a concert, like I get it, don't kill the fucking photographer in the front row, but everybody else, dude, they gotta expect it,
And we talk to them too. Like we know like the homies that stage dive the most and stuff. Like they know to watch the camera guys. They know not to like kick people in the face because everyone's like gonna be so hot. Like they were landing full body instead of with their fists and feet. Like they were being smart about it. Yeah, they weren't like they were being smart about it. It was just not. There was just a lot of stuff that just didn't go the way we wanted it to go. But at the end of the day, like it was crazy. Like the only show that I've ever seen that compared to what I saw at Wrecking Ball was seeing Bolt Thrower at Chaos and Taos in 2013. Like it was in this, like, I don't even remember the place it was in, but I remember the floor being sand and it was so fucking hot that you couldn't breathe, and that was not as hot as Haltom Theater
Texas,
was during
yeah.
Wrecking Ball.
Now,
And
the last thing I'll say is, like, you know, are you bringing this tour on the road? Like, would you ever do that?
we're talking about it. We're definitely gonna bring the fest back every year. So
Okay.
we're gonna do the fest again next year, with some changes and to improve it and to make it bigger. But yeah, I mean, as far as a tour goes, we'll see. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I know, Devourment and Creeping Death are for sure down. I know I Am is down too. So,
Dude, they're coming to
um,
Buffalo next week. I'm going.
hell yeah. Yeah, those dudes rule, man. They rule. They're super professional and they always sound amazing and they got amazing stage presence. And Tom is a beast.
Oh yeah.
Love all those guys. They're really badass. Really badass band. Like, really, really badass band. And everything. So I know we could totally do it. And I know it would just kill, man. I know